The FBI has issued a public warning about an Android setting that is quietly sitting open on millions of devices right now, giving malicious apps a direct path to your banking credentials, your cryptocurrency wallets, and your personal accounts. This is not a theoretical warning about hypothetical future risks. The Internet Crime Complaint Center, the FBI's cybercrime reporting arm, has documented active attacks using exactly the vulnerability this setting creates. People have lost money, people have had their accounts drained, people have had their identities stolen. And in almost every case, the attack was made possible by a single setting that the victim had either never heard of or had turned on for one specific purpose and forgotten to turn off. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what this setting is, exactly why it is dangerous, exactly where to find it on your Android device, and exactly how to close the door that may be standing open on your phone right now. There is no technical expertise required for any of this. It takes under 5 minutes, and it could be the most important 5 minutes you spend with your phone this year. Let us start with what this setting actually does and why the FBI is treating it as urgent. What install unknown apps actually means when you download an app on Android, the default and intended pathway is the Google Play Store. You search, you find, you install. What most users do not think about is what happens before an app appears in that search result. Google applies a review process to apps in the Play Store. This process includes automated scanning for malicious code, behavioral analysis that looks for patterns associated with malware, and review procedures designed to catch apps that are designed to steal data, intercept communications, or impersonate legitimate services. This process is not perfect. Malicious apps have appeared in the Play Store. The security community documents these cases regularly, but the Play Store review process raises the cost and difficulty of deploying malicious apps significantly. It catches a large proportion of malicious code before it ever reaches a user's device. The Install Unknown Apps setting bypasses this entire review process. When Install Unknown Apps is enabled for a specific application, that application gains the ability to install additional software on your device that comes from outside the Play Store. This software has not been reviewed by Google. It has not been scanned for malicious code. It has not passed through any of the behavioral analysis that Play Store review applies. It is raw, unvetted code being installed directly onto your device. The setting exists for legitimate purposes. Developers testing applications before Play Store submission need to install their test builds on devices. Enterprise software managed by an organization may need to be deployed outside the public Play Store. These are real use cases that justify the setting's existence. The problem is the setting's persistence and its scope. When you enable Install Unknown Apps for a specific app, say your web browser, because a tutorial told you to download an APK file from a website, the permission does not automatically expire when you finish that download. It stays enabled. Your browser now has ongoing permission to install apps from any website it visits, regardless of what those apps contain. And if a malicious actor subsequently gets you to visit a website, click a link in an email, or tap a link in a text message, that open permission becomes their pathway to your device. The FBI's specific concern: how the attack actually works. The IC3 warning about this setting is specific about the threat pattern they are documenting in actual criminal cases. Understanding the mechanics of the attack makes it much easier to recognize and avoid. The attack typically begins with what looks like an urgent message. You receive a text message, an email, or a notification that appears to come from your bank, a cryptocurrency exchange, a government agency, or another institution you have a relationship with. The message is urgent. It tells you that your account has been flagged for suspicious activity, that you need to verify your identity immediately, that there is a problem that requires your immediate action. The message tells you to install an app that will allow you to resolve the issue. It provides a link. The link does not go to the Google Play Store. It goes to a website, often one that has been designed to look like the legitimate institution's website, where the app file is available for download. To install it, you need to enable Install Unknown Apps, and the page helpfully explains how to do so. Once you install the app and open it, you see something that looks completely legitimate. The logo is correct, the colors match, the layout is familiar, the login screen looks exactly like the login screen of the service you think you are using. You enter your username and password. They are captured and transmitted to the attackers immediately. This is what security researchers call visual trust exploitation. The human brain uses visual cues to assess legitimacy. When an app looks like the thing it claims to be, the instinct is to trust it. The attackers who build these fraudulent apps are not primarily hackers in the technical sense. They are graphic designers and psychologists who understand how visual familiarity creates trust. The attack does not end with credential capture, however. The more sophisticated versions of these fraudulent apps continue operating in the background after you have entered your credentials. Many financial services use two-factor authentication, sending a text message with a one-time code that you must enter in addition to your password. This is supposed to protect you even if your password is stolen, because the attacker cannot access your account without also intercepting the one-time code. The fraudulent apps documented in FBI cases are capable of monitoring your incoming text messages. When the one-time verification code arrives, the app captures it and transmits it to the attackers, who can use it within its validity window to complete their login to your real account. Your password and your two-factor code, both captured through an app that was installed via the Install Unknown App setting, give the attackers everything they need to access your account while you have no indication anything has gone wrong. This is why the FBI is treating this as urgent, not because the attack is new, but because it is working. And it is working specifically because the Install Unknown App setting creates an installation pathway that the Play Store's review process is designed to close. How the setting ends up: open without users. Realizing one of the most important things to understand about this vulnerability is how common it is for users to have the relevant permissions open without being aware of it. There are several common scenarios that leave Install Unknown Apps enabled for browser or messaging apps, the two most dangerous categories. The APK download scenario: a tutorial, a how-to video, or a website recommended installing an app that was not available in the Play Store, or claimed that the Play Store version had limitations that the direct download did not. You followed the instructions, enabled Install Unknown Apps for your browser, downloaded the file, and installed it. You did not know there was a follow-up step to disable the permission afterward, and even if you did, you may have forgotten in the moment of accomplishing what you were trying to accomplish. The streaming or modified app scenario: modified versions of popular apps, media streaming apps, games with purchases unlocked, productivity apps with premium features enabled to circulate on websites and through messaging apps. These modified apps are distributed as APK files that require Install Unknown Apps to be enabled. Some users who have installed these apps still have the permissions open from the original installation. The enterprise or organization scenario: some workplaces distribute internal apps outside the Play Store. Users who installed work-related software this way may have the permission open for whatever app was used in that process. The family or shared device scenario: someone else who used the device at some point enabled the permission for their own purposes, and the permission remains active for the current user who has no awareness it was ever changed. In all of these cases, the user is not someone who made a reckless security decision. They are someone who either made a reasonable decision in a specific context, or who inherited an open permission without any awareness of it. The FBI warning is specifically relevant to these users who currently have an open Install Unknown Apps permission and do not know it. The exact steps to find and close this setting. Here's exactly how to audit and close the Install Unknown Apps permissions on your Android device. The specific navigation may vary slightly between manufacturers, but the core process is consistent across Android devices running recent versions of the operating system. Step 1. Open Settings. Tap your Settings app. This is the gear icon typically found in your app drawer or on your home screen. Step 2. Navigate to Apps. Look for a section called Apps, Application Manager, or Applications. Tap it. This takes you to the list of all apps installed on your device. Step 3. Find Special App Access. In the Apps section, look for a menu option called Special App Access or Advanced. This may be accessible through a three-dot menu in the top right corner of the app's screen, or it may appear as a section within the App Settings page. Tap it. Step 4. Find Install Unknown Apps. Within Special App Access, you will see a list of special permissions categories. One of these is called Install Unknown Apps or Install Unknown Applications. Tap it. Step 5. Review the list. You will now see a list of apps that currently have the ability to request the Install Unknown Apps permission. Next to each app, you will see whether that permission is currently enabled or disabled. Any app showing as allowed has the ability to install software from outside the Play Store. Step 6. Audit and disable. Look through this list. For each app that shows as allowed, ask yourself, does this app currently have a legitimate ongoing need to install software from outside the Play Store? For most users, the answer for every app on the list should be no. Browsers do not have a legitimate ongoing need to install apps. Messaging apps do not have a legitimate ongoing need to install apps. File manager apps do not have a legitimate ongoing need to install apps. For any app that does not have a specific, current, legitimate reason to have this permission, tap on it and set the permission to not allowed or toggle it to off. If you find that a browser like Chrome, Firefox, or your device's default browser has this permission enabled, disable it immediately. Browsers are the primary attack vector for the threat the FBI is warning about, because malicious websites use browsers to initiate the fraudulent app installation. If you find that a messaging app has this permission enabled, disable it. SMS and messaging apps are the second most common delivery method for the phishing messages that initiate these attacks. Step 7. Verify Google Play Protect. After closing the Install Unknown Apps permissions, verify that Google Play Protect is active and scanning your device. Open the Google Play Store, tap your profile picture in the top right corner. Tap Play Protect from the menu. On the Play Protect screen, you should see a status showing that your device has been scanned recently and that no harmful apps were found. If Play Protect is disabled, tap the gear icon in the top right corner of the Play Protect screen and ensure that Scan Apps with Play Protect is toggled on. Play Protect scans all apps installed on your device, including apps installed from outside the Play Store, against Google's database of known malicious applications. Keeping it active provides an ongoing monitoring layer that can detect and alert you to malicious apps that may have been installed before you close the Install Unknown Apps permission. Why? Urgency is the weapon in recognition. Is the defense understanding the FBI warning at a technical level is valuable? Understanding the psychological mechanism that makes these attacks succeed is equally important because the technical setting is only part of the vulnerability. The attackers who deploy fraudulent apps through the Install Unknown Apps pathway do not succeed simply because they can get their app onto a device. They succeed because they create a psychological state in which the victim's critical evaluation of what they are being asked to do is overridden by a sense of urgency. The message says, your account has been compromised. Your money is at risk. You need to act right now. The time pressure is artificial, manufactured by the attacker to short-circuit the natural skepticism that would cause you to pause and ask whether this message is legitimate. Every legitimate financial institution communicates with you through channels they have already established. Your bank has your phone number, your email address, and your mailing address. If your account has a security issue, your bank will contact you through these established channels and direct you to their official website or their official app through the Play Store. No legitimate bank will send you an unsolicited message directing you to install an app from outside the Play Store to resolve a security issue. This combination, urgency plus external installation request, is the signature of this specific attack. When you encounter both elements together, the combination itself is the evidence that something malicious is happening, regardless of how legitimate everything looks. The FBI's language about this is clear. Any communication that creates urgency around installing an app from outside the official App Store should be treated as a red flag. Not a possible red flag, not a concern worth investigating, a definitive indication that the communication is fraudulent and that the app it is directing you to install is designed to harm you. Building this recognition into your response patterns means that even if Install Unknown Apps is somehow re-enabled on your device, the urgency plus external install combination stops you before you take the action that makes the technical vulnerability relevant. The long-term security habits that prevent future exposure. Closing the current install unknown. Apps permissions addresses the immediate vulnerability. Building habits that prevent the vulnerability from being recreated addresses the ongoing risk. The foundational habit is simple in its formulation and requires consistency in its application. Only install apps through the official Google Play Store. This rule admits very few exceptions. Enterprise software distributed by your employer through your organization's mobile device management system is a legitimate exception, handled through mechanisms that do not require manually enabling Install Unknown Apps on your personal device. For essentially every other software need on your Android device, if the app is not available in the Play Store, that absence is information. It may mean the app is too new to have completed Play Store review. It may mean the app failed Play Store review. It may mean the app was designed specifically for distribution outside the Play Store because its function would not pass review. None of these reasons justify enabling Install Unknown Apps and accepting the risk that comes with bypassing the review process. If someone recommends a useful app that is not in the Play Store, the appropriate response is to wait for the app to appear in the Play Store, search for a Play Store alternative that provides similar functionality, or accept that the functionality is not worth the security risk of the installation pathway required to access it. The second habit is treating the request to enable Install Unknown Apps as inherently suspicious, not as a technical step to be followed whenever instructions include it, as a signal that the instructions deserve additional scrutiny before you follow them. This habit would have protected a large proportion of the victims documented in the FBI's cases. The attack requires you to enable a permission that is not normally enabled. If you treat that requirement as a reason to pause and verify what you're being asked to do and why, the attack cannot proceed even if every other element of the social engineering has been successful. Checking the Play Protect scan results monthly takes approximately 10 seconds and provides ongoing assurance that nothing malicious has made its way onto your device. Making it part of a regular routine, along with reviewing which apps have special app access permissions, creates a maintenance habit that keeps your security posture current. The people who most need to hear this. The FBI warning about Install Unknown Apps is relevant to every Android user. But the people most likely to become victims of the specific attack pattern the warning addresses are not necessarily the least security-conscious people you know. The attacks are effective, specifically because they create urgency that overrides security instincts. They are effective against intelligent, capable people who are not security professionals and who, under the pressure of what appears to be a genuine financial emergency, make decisions they would not otherwise make. Your parents or older relatives are a population worth thinking about specifically. The communication patterns of these attacks, the urgent message from a trusted institution demanding immediate action, exploits the trust that older adults often have for institutional communication, and their relative unfamiliarity with the specific warning signs that would alert a more technically experienced person. The combination of urgency, institutional impersonation, and a helpful step-by-step instruction for enabling the installation of the fraudulent app is designed to guide someone through a process they have no reason to distrust through each individual step. Sharing this information with people in your life who use Android devices, particularly people who may be less familiar with these specific attack patterns, is a concrete action with real protective value. Calling your parents and telling them about the install unknown app setting and the urgency red flag takes 5 minutes. It may prevent them from losing access to their bank account. The FBI issued this warning because the threat is active and because awareness is the most effective defense available at scale. The technical setting is easy to close. The knowledge that it needs to be closed is what most people are missing. You have that knowledge now. Close the setting, build the habits, share the warning. 5 minutes on your phone today. Potentially years of protected accounts that follow.